And the biggest question is, what was so difficult with the previous regime understanding that empowering our own means what you just said? What was so difficult in putting premium to the indigenous Zambians?
We were dealing with politicians. And these politicians had no heart for the country. They wanted us to spend a lot of time going into their offices while they are empowering themselves elsewhere. Because the words that we are getting now from amongst the drivers and the players is that even now there are some foreign drivers, upon offloading their weight at a filling station, when they are asked, they are told, no, I'm waiting for the owner. So we suspect that some of these foreign trucks are owned by some of the government officials. Hence, their resistance to give it away to the Zambian citizens. And if, for us, we saw it that government was not being fair to us by just making pronouncements or policy pronouncements.
I was actually about to come to that. You earlier spoke of the fact that the previous regime did allow local oil marketing companies to import fuel from outside Zambia. And I wanted to ask what could have prompted this, but also why the delay in ensuring that this is implemented.
Yes, the previous government allowed the local oil marketing companies because you know the condition of Indeni.
Of course.
Indeni is not producing, and then most of the oil marketing, the contracted suppliers were not bringing in product. So to avert that shortage, government allowed the local oil marketing companies to import fuel based on their market share. Now, because of politics, we came to realize that about 96 oil marketing companies were given import waiver to bring in the fuel. 96. Where did the other oil marketing companies come from? Nobody knows. So 96 were allowed. Out of those 96, we only worked with about 7-8 OMCs. And they were given a condition that from the quantities that they were given, 50% of that quantity was to be transported by the local transporters as prescribed. They failed to do that. And in our pursuit to make sure that at least we tighten all those loose ends, we started now asking government to come up with a law. We needed a law, not a policy directive. We needed a law. And as Petroleum Transporters Association of Zambia here, and now, I want to pay growing tribute to Engineer Mishek Lungu, the former permanent secretary in the Ministry of Transport and Communication. Also, Mr. Nicholas Chikwenya was director transport in the Ministry of Transport. These people rose to the occasion and came up with a concept paper to come up with the statutory instrument. And in June, you saw the former president signing statutory instrument number 35 of 2021. In that SI, it has made critical pronouncements that 50% of the volume must be transported by Zambian citizens as prescribed. And anyone who fails to comply with that, there is a penalty to that. And then it has also given space for Zambian citizens as prescribed again. That all the local distribution of fuel, taking fuel to the mine, taking fuel to any corners of this country, must be done by Zambian citizens. That's the SI, which is in force. But is anyone following that? No one. All these people who are given import waiver have ignored that. The government contracted suppliers have ignored that. Even the civil servants, the technocrats, are not even looking at that law. It doesn't exist to them, but it was signed by the former president. Unless people are telling us that since the former president is no longer in office, then that law is irrelevant.
No, laws are laws, whether former president or current president.